Hey everybody, welcome back again, and today I'm taking a look at another figure that has just recently come out within the last couple weeks, and I'm just now starting to see show up on store shelves. Found my copy at Walmart. I've seen it there. I've seen it at Target a couple times. Nowhere else beyond that. But that's going to be Hasbro's Studio Series Transformers the movie Astrotrain. So this is the newest entry into the Astrotrain field from Hasbro. Previously, we've had a couple reuses of the mold that came out with War for Cybertron Siege, which really was, I think, a pretty fantastic version of Astrotrain. Never quite painted just right. I know the Dramatic Capture series kind of captured that movie appearance a little bit better. This thing has gotten a lot of negative press. I've seen a lot of hate on it. Frankly, my first impression of it so far has not been that great with photos that I've seen of this guy, but I figured I'd go ahead and pick it up and just take a look at it and see what we've got with it. So the packaging, pretty typical packaging. This is a leader class figure, which I think probably is a little bit sinful given the size of it and the accessories that apparently come with it. But that's another story. So packaging, pretty nice packaging like they've been doing. The front has some Astrotrain artwork on it. The side has a little bit more artwork. The other side has a really nice headshot of Astrotrain. And then the back, we've got some product shots and a clip from the movie. So let's go ahead and get this guy opened up and see what we've got. All right, so in the box we've got the instruction sheet, little product information sheet in multiple languages, quite a few instructions, and then we've got the figure itself on the card. So pretty nice looking at first glance. Kind of weird the way they've got him positioned in here. I probably wouldn't have done it that way. I probably would have kind of flayed the legs out a little bit more, even if nothing more than to make it look a little bit bigger in the package, because really clearly you can see from this really isn't much more than a Voyager class figure in size, and really the accessories that come with it, at least that I'm seeing so far, to me don't validate a leader class price point. But again, I digress. So the first thing that we've got is this plume of smoke, I guess, that you can use with the train version. It's not a rigid plastic. It's a very flexible, almost kind of gummy plastic. You can see there's a lot of flex in it. So, yeah, kind of cool. I mean, it's neat to have a smoke effect like that. And then we've got a baggie of accessories. Which are taped pretty well. Let's get these out. So, in the baggie, we've got a couple of items. We've got some magenta-ish blast effects, 3 of those that are identical to each other. We do have a pistol, nothing fantastic there. It's pretty basic. And then we've got a rifle, so quite a bit of waffling in there, a lot of empty space. The blast effects are pretty cool. They do fit in the rifle. They are made of this kind of gummy plastic as well, so the same, very similar plastic to what we've gotten with some of the other blast effects that come with other figures. So put these back out to the side. And then we have got the figure itself. So looking at the figure, it looks like there is a little bit of modification you have to do out of the box. We've got still some of this rubber band packaging that's wrapped around his neck that can't quite get off there. And there we have him out of the box. So, looking at him, the plastic feels a little bit different than some of the other more recent figures. It feels, I don't know really how to put my finger on it, but looking at it just kind of looks cheaper, I guess. Of course, I think it's because it's all unpainted plastic. These are Tampagraphs. We do still have a little bit more rubber bands on this guy. So let's go ahead and take a look at the articulation. One thing I am noticing right out of the box is some of these joints are kind of loose. The waist, the hip joint seems a little bit loose. But let's look at the articulation. So on the head, we've got, looks like he's on a ball joint. It does go all the way around. On the arms, we get all the way up. We do have a bicep swivel. At the elbows, we do get 90, well actually we get better than 90 degrees. That's kind of cool. And then on the hands, we get swivel on the hands, and then we get a single pin at the base of the knuckle. So we've seen that with some of the figures of late. As far as the waist goes, we do get a little bit of waist swivel, but it is hindered by the wings here in the back. So you get about, I would say, 20 degrees or so either way. Legs all the way up. And we've got some hip skirts, and the legs go all the way forward. We do get a little bit more than 90 degrees at the knee. And then for the feet, we do get a little bit of ankle tilt, not a whole lot. And we get some toe up and a little bit of toe down, but I believe that's probably due to being part of the transformation. So the one glaring thing on this, when you look at this thing on from the side, you see the feet here just look horrendous. I'm going to be honest with you, this thing does not look nearly as good as the Siege mold did. I really think that they could have done a little bit of retooling with that mold to get it closer to this. Some of the articulation, I mean, overall, this thing, it looks kind of terrible. But this is where Hasbro has gone for the last couple of years. The arms on it just look to me too thin. I know in some of the scenes from the movie, he does look like he's very thin with the arms and in the waist, but there's just something about it that just doesn't look right to me. I know there is one thing that we can do to kind of give him more of the toy look, and folding up the chest, or actually fold these down and fold the tail fin out to give him more of the toy look. So one thing I'm noticing here too is this head plate here where his head rests on doesn't seem to want to stay pegged. It falls off really easily. So we can take his tail fin and kind of flay it out there. You flip it up from the abdomen and give him a little bit of that toy look. Or you can fold it back down and fold these up, I guess, and give him a little bit more color in the chest if you want to. So, I mean, this is exactly what I expected out of this figure after having seen so many of the pictures leading up to it. You know, again, I'm really disappointed in what Hasbro's doing with their figures over the last couple years. They've downsized them, they have cheapened them, they have, taken figures that are clearly in a price point lower than what they are and repackaged them or packaged them initially as the next class, the next price point up, which to me is disappointing. This figure, I'm going to tell you straight up, is just not worth the leader class price point. As a Voyager, great. If you wanted to package him as a Voyager and not include the, the smoke effect maybe, and just package them with these things, it'd be a perfect Voyager class price point. But the addition of this thing just does not bring this up to a leader class price point. The figure is not that great. He just doesn't look right. He doesn't look anything like, the movie. The Siege mold that came out, I think that one was about as close to perfection as you could get with the right paint applications on it. And I know that they never quite got that right, but they really just should have gone with that mold maybe and done a little bit of re-engineering and a little bit different paint or plastic color. So overall in this figure, my recommendation would be a hard no. But again, if you like this character, if you like the toy, if you like Astrotrain, and if you're a completionist, definitely go for it. But if you're just casually collecting these figures and you're kind of on the fence on this one, I would definitely not recommend this. So I'm going to go ahead and get this thing transformed. Figure out if I'm going to go either to shuttle mode or train mode first, and we'll come back and take a look at that. As always, I really appreciate you watching. If you like this content, please like, please subscribe. I'll keep doing it. I've got a couple more figures in the pipeline for this week, including the newly released Power Glide, and I'll be putting those out shortly as well. Thanks for watching. right, here he is in train mode, and that transformation was a little bit of a mess. It took me much longer than I thought it would, but looking at the train mode, I mean, it looks okay. It doesn't, I don't know, it just doesn't look like the animation to me. I think they missed out on a lot. You know, even kind of comparing it to, you know, even the still that we have of the train mode, it's just lacking in a lot of areas. We've got this, you know, little still on the back of the box, so you can see, I mean, there's a couple similarities, but I really think they missed the mark on this one. But, you know, it's kind of cool. It's got the little gimmick with the, you know, the train wheel drivers. You can put the smoke effect on it, which looks pretty cool. It pegs into the front and the back as well. The rear compartment opens up, and the little blast effects can fit on the back of here as well. So cool there for what it is. Again, I don't think it looks as good as the Siege mold did, but let's see what he looks like in shuttle mode. Hang on for a minute. Alright everybody, we've got him now in shuttle mode, and this thing is really, it's a dumpster fire. This thing is a hot ball of garbage. It looks like a space shuttle from about here forward. Everything else is just, it looks terrible. I don't even know what to say about this. But I wanted to go ahead and get it in that mode just to illustrate it for everybody. The blast effects do go on the back, so you can get the shuttle, blast off. So if you want to, because this thing is on fire, not in a good way, you can put this, and it's in a tailspin downwards. I'm not at all happy with this. I'm really disappointed. The Siege mold was so much better than this, and even a little bit bigger than this. And with a little bit of engineering change, maybe in some different paint applications, they really could have nailed a Studio 86 Astrotrain. But they chose to do this, and it looks awful. It really does. But that's all for this review, or this unboxing, I guess. Stay tuned. I am going to do another one for the new Age of the Primes Power Glide, and hopefully that one will be a little bit better. That's one of my favorite G1 characters. But we'll see you next time. If you like this content, please like, please subscribe, and I'll keep doing them. Thanks for watching.